Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Natalie with Natalie's Closet. Welcome to any newcomers. I hope you enjoy the video and our community. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if you'd like to, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button down below, as well as a notification bell next to that, so you can be notified of any future videos. Today I'm going to be going over some of my WIPs, or works in progress, and some of my UFOs, or unfinished objects, which there are a few of. However, I will be repurposing the yarn. I just haven't done so yet because I've had a lot going on between my new channel as well as my business. So that being said, I don't think I have any finished objects here. I do have a couple that are commissioned pieces, but as I've mentioned, I don't show them as WIPs or finished objects when they are orders that I filled for a customer until the final recipient receives it. At that point, it would actually end up being pictures of it because I won't have the item to actually display. But you would, I'll go ahead and include pictures in the future of some of the pieces I've recently been working on. So without further ado, I do apologize. Some things are in my plastic bags from my local yarn shop, and some are in my project bags, and others just, there's just a big mishmash on my desk right now. So I do apologize for any crinkling in advance. But I think I'm going to start with something more recent, and several of my friends on here will know what this is going to, because it's been a while since I've actually started it. But these are strips that are going to be part of my MAM, or my Laminate Blanket for this, my princess desk chair. The reason I call it my princess desk, and I will include pictures at some point, if not in this video, of my desk, but along the edges underneath the lip of the desk and the knobs on it are all crystals. And then on the chair itself, underneath the cushion and the first lip, there's a row of crystals on it. It's a desk that I saw and fell in love with, saved up for, and purchased. And I call it my princess desk because I love anything blingy and sparkly and shiny. I have since I was a little girl. And yeah, so I'll add pictures of that either at the end of this video or in a future video. But anyway, enough about that. I did want to make my Laminate Blanket for this chair, and I will finish it at some point. These still have obviously the stitch markers, but this is one of the strips. This is from a yarn that I got from my local yarn shop. And then this is the eyelash from Ice Yarns. I haven't finished this particular strip. And then this strip is the Rockstar from Ice Yarns. And this is called ladder yarn at Ice, but this particular yarn is Red Heart trellis yarn. It kind of looks like a ladder, if you can see that, which is why it's called ladder yarn now. But this was trellis yarn by Red Heart. So I still have 3 other yarns that I'm going to be working on for the MAM blanket, but these are the start of it. And then I'm going to be connecting it with black lambkin yarn, which is a really fuzzy, well, actually I'm not sure, because some of that yarn, like the eyelash, is fuzzy already. I may not use lambkin. I may just use a black acrylic to attach or to connect them all, because I really want the colors of the strips to be the focus of it. But I'm really excited to be able to finish that. I just haven't had a chance to. This is actually the start of a Lotus blanket. Lotus flower blanket. This was the original yarn I was making a commission piece from when they didn't know what the sex of the baby was yet. So she wanted something neutral. So we went ahead and went with this yarn, which is a really soft, fuzzy yarn. This was also something I purchased at my local yarn shop. It's baby stripes. And I have a bunch of skeins of it. But then they found out what the sex of the baby was, so we went ahead and we switched it to a different yarn. It's actually, I'm using the Whirl Oops, I almost spilled my drink. That would not have been fun because it would have been everywhere and the mug probably would have broken. Whew, so happy that didn't happen. But anyway, so I felt comfortable sharing that because it's not something that is being purchased right now. It will go into my Etsy shop, which I am transitioning out of. I have the link down below and I haven't updated it in a while. I'm going to be doing that probably later today. And that will ultimately go on there, but I am in the process of getting my own domain and working on a website, and that's where I'll be selling from, and I'll be getting out of Etsy for multiple reasons I have personally. But that will probably go on there before it gets to my website. I'm not sure. Well, I guess I first have to finish it. So we'll see how quickly I finish it, and then if it makes it on Etsy. So that is that. Now this, I loved the pattern. It's actually a Tunisian stitch, crochet stitch. I don't know if you can see the little like baubles on there. Little tiny bubbles. I call them bubbles, but they're like kind of all throughout the blanket. This is a blanket that I started. Clearly it's not very far along. I do have my Tunisian hook and cord. I didn't really need this long of a cord, but this is the first Tunisian blanket I've tried. So this is using loops and threads, soft and shiny, because again, I love soft. But with Tunisian crocheting, it does tend to curl until you get further along. I've been debating on whether or not I was going to frog this and try something different, but I think I may go ahead and do a few more rows before I make that decision, because it is, I love the stitch and I think it'll come out really nicely once I get a little bit further along. So we'll see where that goes. So far, these three projects are WIPs because they're not going to get frogged and repurposed. This, oh my goodness, this is actually a pattern by Kristen Omdahl. Well, it's not actually. I completely, well, didn't completely, but I did change it around quite a bit, and I changed the stitch count. It got completely tangled. I mean, when I say completely tangled, I have to try to undo this so I can get to my crystals so that I can redo it. But it's going to be a necklace. I don't know if you can see, well, you can see the crystals, but there's Swarovski crystals. And it's just basically a really long chain with the crystals worked into it. And it will end up being a necklace. Like I said, though, it's very tangled, so I have to undo it. But this, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to finish. I may end up keeping it. I don't know, because I love, like I said, oops, sorry, I just hit my tripod. I love sparkly and shiny, and there is a lot of work that goes into this, but it was originally designed as a piece that I was going to add to my shop, which I still may, I may not keep it, because I don't, well, honestly, I don't think I can only dress up in crystally and big jewelry only when I'm going out. No, I don't, I mean, okay, I maybe wouldn't do it with a t-shirt, but if I have a solid color blouse and I'm going to work, I have no problem wearing something like that, even though it's all glitzed out. No problem whatsoever, at all. Sparklier the better, regardless of what it is. Yarn, rings, I have this ring. I mean, let me tell you, when the sun hits that, talk about bling. It's crazy. My glasses have bling. If you saw the video I posted earlier today, blingy. More bling the better. Just the way I am. Excuse me. Okay, so that will be a finished piece, and it will look similar to that. So it's not getting repurposed. It just has to be redone. Now this, I still have to finish, and pardon my ends, and I do really long ends because I like to really work them in. But this is going to be a baby doll blanket. It's got the gray, the peach, the mint green, and then there's going to be a yellow. And it's going to be a baby doll blanket. I also have another one, and I was trying to go with the same colors, except reverse them. except Michael's was out of the colors. They had the gray, that was the only, and the mint. But this is also a baby doll blanket. It's not big at all, but I just wanted to have fun with the colors because I love colors. And I think I've mentioned it in the past. I work with the yarns and the colors and the patterns that inspire me and that I'm passionate about. Because then I enjoy it, I have fun, and it's easier for me to sell the items and myself when I'm working with somebody. So those two, this one is actually done. I just have to sew in the ends. This one, I still have to finish the mint green and then add the yellow. So those are baby doll blankets. And then, this is I misspoke before when I said I didn't have a finished object. That baby doll blanket, other than the ends, and this blanket are finished. This is actually the Cakes and Candles by Krista at the Secret Yarnery. The only problem is, this is, I believe, I don't have the band anymore, but I believe this was a Yarn Bee yarn from Hobby Lobby, if I'm not mistaken. The only problem is, this is the very first Cakes and Candles blanket that I did. After I noticed it in the beginning, but then thought maybe, I shouldn't have thought that way, but maybe it'll work itself out as I add more rows, and I was playing with the tension and everything. But I don't know if you can really see it. The center isn't centered. It's not evenly centered. Everything kind of goes off on an angle. I don't know if you can see it or not. Unfortunately, this yarn doesn't frog very nicely. So my options are to keep this. I don't really know many people locally or personally that are having babies. And I really don't, I mean, I don't know. I don't know anybody locally or personally that's having a baby. So I don't know if I should just say, oh well, and let it go, or you guys let me know if you saw a really big issue with the way it worked out, where it wasn't centered as a square and working out. Let me know. If you think it's really not a big deal and it wouldn't be a problem to sell it, let me know. Or I may just save that and have that for something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I know I'm very indecisive about that particular piece. I love the yarn because it is super soft. It is fuzzy, and that's one of the reasons why it doesn't frog very well. But I would also at the same time hate to lose all that yarn. It was, I think, two skeins of yarn, I believe, in there. So just let me know your opinions. Frog it? Well, I can't frog it, so trash it, use it as a rag. Or do you think it doesn't look that off that I could either gift it or sell it? So there's your question for today. What do you think I can do with that Cakes and Candles blanket? Use it as a rag, or gift it or sell it? I mean, I don't know that it's really that off, but to me, when something is off, it's like screaming at me. But then again, I'm the one that made it, so I think we tend to pick up on mistakes or things like that a lot more than the average person would. They see it and they're like, oh wow, this is beautiful. But just let me know what you think. That's your homework for tonight. Let me know what you think about the Cakes and Candles blanket. So those were the baby doll blankets. Now this is Lion Brand's Shawl in a Cake, the sparkle one. I started a virus stitch shawl, and can you see the sparkle in it? I think it's picking it up. I love the yarn. This does not frog well. The only thing is for some reason, as much as I love the virus stitch, and you see it everywhere, virus or virus meets granny, it just isn't something that is speaking to me. I started making only this amount and I just started losing interest. It just didn't keep me going. And when that happens, when you're only 1, 2, 3, like 7 rows in, maybe? No, 5 rows in? Not sure. 5 or 7 rows in, then that, you know, it's gonna just be a chore to finish it. So I'm gonna see what I end up doing with that. It is the Lion brand Shawl and a Cake yarn with the sparkle. So that one I may end up just cutting off there and start another stitch that just keeps me interested. I know that may sound sad, but I'm sure it happens to all of us. If you're not feeling it when you're making it, it's just gonna be something that sits around, and I really would rather not have this yarn sit around. It's perfectly good yarn. It's soft, it's sparkly, so I think I'm just gonna repurpose it. Now this is also the virus stitch, but it's a rectangular virus stitch, and this for some reason I'm not having a problem with. I have put it aside because I did have a bunch of other projects come up that had to be done, so this has been kind of sitting on the sidelines for a while, like the rest of these things. But this one I've been having no problem with. I mean, it really, I have to actually find the pattern again because it's on YouTube and I didn't print it out or look for it so that I could print it out. But I'll find it again. This I'm actually using a huge skein of endless yarn by Loops and Threads. This is enough to make a blanket. It's like 1,790 yards. Wow, that's one big ball of yarn. So that's what I'm making on this. Honestly, I think one of the other reasons why I may have kind of put it off to the side is because it's not really a soft yarn for me. Again, I've had people pick this yarn up at the store and be like, wow, this is really nice and soft. I went and picked it up and I thought, okay, it's not bad. And I wanted to have a one ball blanket. Well, I got that with this yarn, but it's soft. Don't get me wrong. It's not scratchy, but to me, I like to have a really like soft, fuzzy, not even fuzzy, just a soft yarn. So that may be another reason why that one's kind of been on the back burner, but I will get that one done because I just want to see what I can make out of that big skein of yarn. Excuse me, my throat is really dry today. But, oh, one more thing. This is for sure not a finished object, it's a WIP. Anybody who knows Krista at The Secret Yarnery knows that she has an awesome pair of slippers that she's done a tutorial on. And I love them, and I love the colors that she had around Christmas time that she showed. I don't remember if it's the colors that she did in the tutorial, but you use a thicker chenille, so I used Bernat Baby Blanket yarn and any kind of a 4-weight acrylic. And I started my slipper. Now this is a slipper for me. I just have to finish the heel and make the second slipper because I don't want to go around with one slipper. But I mean, I also increased this part because I think she finishes it right around here, but I don't like to just have my feet covered up to my to the end of my toes. I like it a little bit onto my foot, so I did increase this area. And I don't know that I think I started transitioning up to the heel, maybe not roughly at the same time because I increased this. But anyway, this is her. I'll put a link in the description box below for her channel, but this is her pattern. And like I said, the Cakes and Candles was her pattern. The Lotus flower, for the life of me, I'm drawing a blank on who it was that I got the pattern from, but she actually designed the pattern around the whirl yarn. And I'm not wanting to say the yarn name. My friend actually sent me a little video clip pronouncing it because she's in Belgium. I think it was Shapies. I don't know, but that we were talking about, I'm Ukrainian, so we were trying to figure out what the combination of letters, what kind of a sound it makes, and the English language doesn't have a sound like it, and the Ukrainian language has something similar, but it's not quite the same. So I'm sure I messed it up. Catherine, let me know if I did. I was trying to remember the little clip you sent me, but I forgot to listen to it before I started recording. So that's my bad. So anyway, those are my WIPs. Oh, sorry, there is one more. I forgot this These bags, I don't know, Yarn Pop is no longer around, sadly. These bags though are incredible. All of mine are the blue ones, and they have the houndstooth insides, but if you can find them somewhere, this is also a drawstring, so you can kind of have it as a backpack. But I mean, with the grommets and even the ones with the zippers, like I have this one and this one, and I have a really huge one. They actually did, I forgot the website, but anyway, the zippers, even when you have your yarn like here at the end, not in the teeth of it, you can zip it closed and still have the yarn at the end, and it doesn't catch. They're awesome bags. But anyway, that was a side note because this happened to come around. This was the start of, I believe it's Krista's, I don't know if it was an infinity cowl, I don't remember, but I started this, I want to say a good 6 months ago, maybe longer. I haven't touched it. It's something, for some reason, I keep getting messed up on it, so I think I'm going to repurpose the yarn for something different. But there were actually 3 different colors that I was going with. This was yarn I got from my local yarn shop. But I think I'm going to repurpose it for a different cowl or maybe a scarf. Not sure. I think I have enough for possibly even doing a baby blanket, but which is what I really focus on when it comes to my business anyway, are blankets and baby hats. But those I tend to donate and or do for my craft shows. I don't typically put them up on my Etsy shop. But anyway, that's all of my WIPs, and you did end up seeing the 2 finished objects. They're just not finished, completely finished, because I haven't sewn in my ends. That's one of the things that I wish I could just hire someone to come around and do and just work on all my ends, because I hate sewing in ends with a passion. I work my ends in as much as I can while I'm actually working with the next color, but you still have some ends you have to work in. It is what it is. It's part of the craft. It's just really something I wish I can just hand off to someone else. But anyway, that's all that I was able to put together. I still have a couple other WIPs. Actually, they're more unfinished objects that are probably going to get repurposed. But I wanted to just kind of give you a sampling of what I have been working on, or what I do work on. I will show the blanket that I had up on the screen in my video from yesterday, I believe it was, because somebody did ask about it. So I will show that in this week's episode of Getting to Know You. That is a finished object. That was a commissioned piece where the customer disappeared. I'll give more information on that in the video. But anyway, that's that. Several of these yarns are from my local yarn shop. They're not necessarily the merino wool or anything, but other ones are from Michael's and or Joann's. I do like the loops and threads on some of the yarns, and like I said, the one was a Yarn Pop yarn from Hobby Lobby. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of my WIPs and UFOs. So I was going to do a yarn haul video today, but I'm probably going to do that on Wednesday. So look forward to that and tune in on Wednesday if you're interested in seeing some yarns from Hobium, as well as I think 3 cakes, maybe 4 cakes from Joann's, and I have 1 yarn from Michael's that I happened to just pick up when I was there shopping for something else, and some yarn that I purchased from Knit Crate. So that'll be on Wednesday. So I hope you enjoyed all of the WIPs and I know that could be taken in several different ways, but anybody who knows crocheters in the yarn world know us as hookers, so WIPs are appropriate. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my WIPs and UFOs, and as I have more things that I start making, I will go ahead and share that with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to comment in the comment section below, and don't forget your homework to let me know about this Cakes and Candles blanket, what you think I should do with it. Can't frog it, but if you think there's not a problem with the way it was centered with the square, if I can go ahead and sell it or gift it, or if I should repurpose it for some other thing. So let me know. That's your homework for today. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the red subscribe button down below and the notification bell next to that. And don't forget, if it's grayed out, that means you're already subscribed. So don't hit it again because it'll kick you out. Don't want that to happen because you won't know when I'm uploading new videos. So have a great day, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.